So many people are so generous to make this festival work, and it means a lot to us, and I think that the response of the community in its generosity is also, impressive, and Lloyd says we're going to do it again. Yeah. So good. All right. Let's take a minute to just mention who our jurors were. In the feature documentary category, we had Hillary Neroni, who is a film professor at University of Vermont, Jen Latham, who is a documentary film producer whose credits include Sicko and Capitalism: A Love Story, two Michael Moore films. Also Kate Hurst, who teaches at Brooklyn College, is film studies. For feature narrative, we had Fred Stripe, who's the head of the film department at Sarah Lawrence College, and Bill Phillips, a screenwriter and professor of screenwriting at Dartmouth College. For short documentary, we had Vanessa Downing. Are you still here, Vanessa?
No, she left earlier.
Okay, Vanessa Downing, who is the programmer at the Wellfleet Preservation Hall in Wellfleet on Cape Cod. And we had, who was our other person in short documentary?
I didn't memorize.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll remember by the time I get through. For short narrative, we had Eric Ford, who is he's special projects at local content at Vermont PBS, and we had Rick Kasonic, who is the film critic for 7 Days. And I know this short documentary. Oh, I know who it was, of course. Member of my board. Nat Winthrop. Yes, absolutely.
Good save.
Who is a documentary film producer and was the founder of the Vermont, one of the co-publishers of Vermont Vanguard Press in Burlington, which was the precursor to 7 Days. All right, here we go. So, in these categories, we would like to make a few awards. First of all, for short narrative, we would like to award the VTeddy to the best and worst days of George Morales' unnatural life.
Is Jeff here? Jeff, are you here? Did Jeff Cutty back go home? He left Saturday. How untimely. Okay, we will set that aside, and our friends at Vermont Teddy Bear will help us ship it to Seth. For those of you who saw that film, you know how pleasing it is. Just don't eat the chicken mole, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
For short documentary, the winner is Phil's Camino.
Now, Ben May, come on up, Ben. Come on up. So Annie O'Neill, who made this film, is not here, but she has sent a message to Ben May, who made The Legend of Sweet Pea, and he's going to read this message from the director.
Thank you.
Very good.
So, this film is very special to my heart because Doug Blush, who worked on this film as an editor and producer, also worked with Annie O'Neill on Phil's Camino, and so we were, familiar with each other's films throughout the festival run. It's a great, great film, and she just wants to say, let me bring this up here, of course. Like it just went black. She wanted to say, thank you so much. One of the best things about film festivals after all these months is to get recognized, and you're working on your own. A festival gives us an opportunity to meet the other filmmakers and film lovers, like you all are. And what a great group of people. I totally agree. To be honored with an award is even more of an honor, and on behalf of the many, many people who worked on Phil's Camino, and even more people who donated to Phil's Camino, thank you. I hope you were inspired by Phil as we are, and are continued to be inspired. So, from Annie O'Neill and Phil's Camino, thank you.
How great that one filmmaker would read the comments of another one here. Great. The filmmakers who come here are fabulously supportive of each other. We really appreciate that. For the Audience Award, short film.
We still have one more, I think,
Well, I haven't done the feature narrative feature.
Okay, so you're skipping.
I've got my I'm building momentum, can't you tell? All right. Let's do, okay. Anybody know any good jokes? Let's see. Audience award for short film. Pony.
We wish to comment on the status of Candace Carilla, who made this really sort of lovely and sort of poignant film funny. I first saw her film, Pony. Maureen and I saw it at the Pasadena International Film Festival. And after, I said to Candace, you should submit this to our festival. We'd really like to have a film like this. And she did, and these are the results. So I'll probably call her. I'm not sure what kind of reaction we'll get. She may have forgotten after all these months, and she was actually entered into our festival. But we look forward to having Pony as one of the films we take out on the road.
And it also deserves Best Acting Award for a 4-year-old.
5, I think.
5-year-old. Okay, 5.
There's a big difference between 4 and 5. I'm sure some of the parents will tell you that.
There you go. You can tell the difference. Okay. The Audience Award for Best Feature Film. The Guys Next Door.
Come on up, ladies.
I won't do that.
Folks, another round of applause for Amy and Holly. So if you would, yes, we could show off the VTeddy, of course. You notice how natty he looks. Have a seat. Just stay up on stage and so.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you all.
You're welcome.
Okay. 4. Feature-length narrative film, Judges Award, Jurors Award, will go to Heath Davis and his film Broke.
Now Heath is down under, as they say, and I'm sure when we write to him, he'll say something like, "That's great news, mate." He's an understated kind of person.
Lloyd's been at the Middlebury Language School, you can tell.
If they don't have Australian as one of the choices, they should. You need to, it takes a while to understand it.
All right. And the Jurors Award for Best Feature Documentary, Walk With Me, The Trials of Damon J. Keith.
Thank you. And thank you to, I didn't get to say it before, but you guys really make out-of-towners like me feel like a Middlebury citizen. And thank you to this festival for treating, first or second time filmmakers with the same respect that you would, a veteran. It's really noticed and appreciated. So thank you guys.
My pleasure. For those of you,
We don't have veterans. Luckily for us, we don't have veterans. We only have first and second time filmmakers.
That's right.
There you go.
It's a new
We
category.
avoid the problem.
New category. For those of you who are here, I'm sorry, I know it's like kind of gauche, but I can't see that well. For those of you who were here opening night and saw Walk With Me, The Trials of Damon J. Keith, and when it received its standing ovation, you understand, why, I would think that the jurors would come to this conclusion as well. One of the most powerful films. We are so delighted to bring it to you. Of course, it sets the bar high for next year. But I just want to say, Jesse, thank you for bringing this here. It was just a spectacular film, and we hope that other audiences in the next few months will have the pleasure that we had in screening it here at Middlebury.
Thank you.
Lloyd mentioned that we take the films on tour. We should, maybe you mentioned, we actually take them to at least one venue in each of the 6 New England states. So that is our mission, which is to look at all of New England and to help support these filmmakers and to support the idea, frankly, of going on tour, of barnstorming, of playing your films in front of audiences. So that's what we will start to do immediately when we're finished here.
Okay, are
Yeah.
we ready for this?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So I'm going to ask Ben Cadwallader to come to the stage. He's the executive director of the Vermont Symphony Orchestra. And I'm going to give you just a little context about this award before I hand the microphone over to Ben, who's prepared a 15, 20-minute speech. Is that right? That's right, Ben. Okay. He's memorized it, of course. My college classmate, then known as Lynn Thurber, now Lynn Laufer, and I were having dinner a few months ago. Let us get back it was in the last year in the fall, and Lynn said to me over dinner, well, you know, the VSO has a new executive director and seems to be interested in out-of-the-box ideas that might bring the VSO to a different audience, a broader audience. And she and I began to kick around some things. And what came out of that was this idea of possibly having a filmmaker matched up with a composer. And it evolved after Ben did come from Los Angeles. He was at the Los Angeles Philharmonic, the LA Film. We did have a conversation. I think Lynn was instrumental in getting that set up. And we began to sort of flesh out this idea. And I'll say this, that we are delighted to be in this sort of innovative arrangement, collaboration with the Vermont Symphony Orchestra, our little bitty festival working with one of the great institutions in Vermont and regionally. And just in short, what we are going to see tonight is the first step in the unfolding of this relationship. And I'm going to turn it over to Ben, because without him, really, he's a great partner on this. And without him, this really would not have come to fruition. But first of all, thank you, Lynn, for getting this idea rolling. You're the best. I really appreciate that. Lynn is on the board of the VSO, so that's how everything sort of came to be.
Yes. Thank you, Lloyd, and yes, Lynn, thank you so much. So, first of all, I'm so happy to be here. I really enjoyed today. I wish I could have taken in the whole festival. And this is really special what you guys have done with this festival that is laser focused on first and second time filmmakers. And as Lloyd mentioned, for us at the VSO, we're thinking differently about our future, about inventing a future that's bright and surprising, and that connects Vermonters in new and different ways through music and through art. And so, essentially what this partnership entails, as Lloyd said, it's a multi-year partnership that begins this evening. I will in a moment award a filmmaker with the best integration of, it's new, film, music for film, that's the one. Yeah, thank you. Okay, best integration of music composed for film. That would be the award. Okay, all right. I'll get that one better for next year. So, that's the first step. And then this winning filmmaker will be paired with a Vermont composer. And then they are given 1 year to collaborate together on creating a new film. And then that will be premiered at next year's festival with the Vermont Symphony Orchestra, live for all of you. So that's really, yeah. But there's more. So Lloyd and Jay were talking about the mission of going on tour, and that's something that the Vermont Symphony Orchestra founded in 1934, and ever since the beginning, the institution was designed to not have a home hall, that it is for the entire state. So we are going to, with that in mind, we do 3 tours all over the state every single year, a holiday tour, a foliage tour, and a summer tour. And so then after we premiere it here, in the following season, we will include the piece and the film in one of our statewide tours. So we will take this wonderful piece of art that we made together and share it with Vermonters all over the state. So we're really, really excited about this partnership. As I said, the first step is tonight. And we had a fantastic list of films to review. And our panel, which was VSO Senior Artistic Leadership, members of the orchestra, and members of the composing community around the state, they were thrilled with the quality of all the films, and there was one that everyone just was really, really thrilled about. So please join me in congratulating the winner of this year's VTeddy VSO Award for the thing that I said earlier.
Right here.
Yes, that's right there. And it is filmmaker Jesse Kreitzer for Black Canaries, Jose
Thank you so much. Thanks, Lloyd.
I'll hold the teddy until you're done there, Jesse.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you all so much. And really, at first, let me just congratulate you on your second annual festival. I'm just really in awe of what you guys have done in 2 short years. It's just, festivals simply do not survive if the community does not support it, and it's very clear that Middlebury wants this, and under your leadership, and Jay, and Phoebe, and Celia, and the staff, and volunteers, I'm just stunned at what you've done in 2 short years. So here's to 10 more.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's see. Well, I'm from Marlborough, Vermont. I'm a Vermont filmmaker, and it took me 13 years to get back to the state of Vermont. And I came back to make my first feature film. This is a story I've carried with me for over a decade. And it's about hospice workers and midwives working in the mountains of rural Vermont. And it's told over the course of 1 year, 4 seasons. So this seems ultra fitting. But what I'll point out is 30 years born and raised in Marlborough, Vermont. And just a few weeks ago, I saw the last closing symphony from the Marlborough Music Festival. And these moments are rare where you're literally transported. And I was so taken, and I remember thinking, the pinnacle of my career must be, and I imagine a lot of filmmakers feel this way, 20-some-odd years down the line, to be able to bear witness to some of the world's most talented composers and musicians responding to your work and scoring your work, and I just had no idea this opportunity would come so soon. So I'm thrilled at what we're going to be doing together, and this is just a tremendous honor. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. So,
so we keep going.
we have, oh, look at this.
There's still enough there to maintain their friendships. Yes, they're all stunned.
I just heard one say to the other, "You're looking lovely in that tuxedo."
I want to just, before we give our final word of the evening, I want to thank also Phoebe and Celia, who have done such a extraordinary job.
First of all, I want to say that we are so grateful to Middlebury College for providing us interns who last year and this year have worked so hard, so diligently, with such grace under pressure. Celia has been fabulous this year. She's worked so well as a team. So I hope that we'll continue to have these just stellar individuals at Middlebury who seems to produce, wonderful, sort of talented, disciplined, thoughtful people who want to work with us. And it's kind of crazy sometimes in our office. I will say that Celia has let's put it this way, Celia will eat sometimes because she burns more calories than anybody I have ever seen. Rides her bike around Middlebury. Just marvelous. So thank you for everything you did. I'm sorry to see it come to an end, Celia, but since you're a rising senior, we hope to see you throughout the fall and maybe next spring. And say good things about us, won't you? Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Celia. Thank you. And now, just about Phoebe Lewis, again, when Jay and I first started this festival it was in July of 2014, Phoebe was working as an intern at the Evanston Independent. And Angelo assigned her to write an article about 2 aging men who it's true, who were going to, well, look at us, who were going to begin a festival here at Middlebury dedicated to first and second time filmmakers. And she wrote a really nice piece. And I guess some conversations started not that long afterwards about, well, maybe it would be good, Phoebe could come work for us, etc. And so last year, when we did our inaugural event, Phoebe was, of course, part of that with Kyle Jarrett, who was our first Middlebury intern. And then Phoebe sort of graciously surprised us by saying, I want to come back and do it again. And what's happened this year is sort of exponentially different than year one. As we said on opening night, if you pay any attention to the articles that have come out, the press releases, and I think, our astonishing social media presence, this is Phoebe Lewis. This is her work. don't think our festival would have the heft or maybe the overall presence or dynamic feel without what we've done, what she's done on Facebook and on Instagram, and just in general, how she uses her imagination and sort of a fearless quality to post cool stuff, great stuff. And we see things coming back from filmmakers and from members of the Middlebury community and from places far and wide. I've had people sort of write to me and say, how are you doing that? Why are you doing? I can't believe how much stuff you're putting out there. Phoebe Lewis. So just to say that Phoebe now will go on September 2nd, she'll be heading out to Mill Valley, California, where she has been hired by the Mill Valley Film Festival, now going into its 39th year, basically to upgrade and improve their social media. And starting here in Middlebury. Give Phoebe a round of applause, please. She said she might come back next year.
There you go.
But you know what happens in California is they just say, no, you gotta stay, you don't want you to go. We're gonna pay you a huge box, so we don't know.
Okay.
But in the meantime, big hug. Thank you. And I guess also to everybody who's worked on this festival, so many volunteers, and of course we did, I went on to that as a nice photo op right there. Can somebody then send it to us? We'll post that right away.
If we thank everybody, it'll include everybody in the
like the
audience.
opening
So
night.
we can't let that on.
But
But sponsors, we want to thank us. We're not going to go through the whole list. But you mentioned on opening night our sponsors who are so important to the project. 3 people have approached me during the festival saying, how can we sponsor? That's good news.
Okay, that's very good news.
One thing we did not mention opening night, we had just a couple of sponsors. We had particular programs that we needed some extra support for. Radical Grace was presented with the help of Dennis and Judith O'Brien.
Yes.
And Barbara Koppel's visit was made possible through the support of Robin Lloyd, Bill and Jane Stetson,
Right.
and Lola Van Wagen and George Burrell, who are
That's
here
right.
tonight. Thank you very much for your help.
I also just want to take an extra minute to thank Middlebury College for all it has done for us in so many ways we just cannot count them. And I think for those who have been so helpful to us, again, it's a wonderful, unstinting generosity, and we could not do it without you. And for all those who went to Dana Auditorium, you know what a beautiful place that is. And when they project a film up there, it's an experience that's so worthwhile. So just if we could have a round of applause for Middlebury College. I appreciate all they have done, and of course we hope this will continue in the future. Go ahead.
And I want to thank also, we just awarded these TEDdies, and I think what's important to point out is that this notion of awards is really a very non-specific science. Let me just tell you that. How do you compare, God Knows Where I Am to, the guys next door? I mean, they're very different films. They're both extraordinary films. They're both fine films. And so nothing should be, and we have notified filmmakers who were finalists. There were 5 finalists in each category. A couple of you are here tonight. Would you stand for a moment if you were notified that you were a finalist in the consideration? So in a way, we want to congratulate and sort of apologize. And last year we got carried away and we decided to tour 11 films, and we found out it was impossible. So this would have happened again if we if Lloyd hadn't had to go on the road with all, Anyway, the point is,
it'll all be in my book.
Okay. All right. So finally,
Yes.
this is like a movie that has 5 endings.
Okay.
Okay. Finally, we also want to take a moment and offer, every year we decide on what would be most fitting as both an inspiration to emerging filmmakers and a recognition to someone whose body of work is extraordinary by any account. And it was an easy decision for this year. And we want to announce our Vermont TEDdy Award for sustained cinematic vision, imagination, persistence, excellence, 2-time Academy Award winner, Barbara Koppel, please.
shock and a surprise. And all I want to say is that this festival has been so kind and so wonderful, and I've met young filmmakers who I hope I can keep a relationship with for a long time, and I'm just proud to be here. Thank you.
We should.
If you like, wherever you want to put it.
He has his own chair. Please.
I'll take
Make a quick announcement that on Wednesday, September 21st, we'll be here with a special event, which was actually inspired by a meeting that I had with Barbara at the Nantucket Film Festival with Rachel, with Heidi Ewing, who made a fabulous new film called Norman Lear, Just Another Version of You. It's an extraordinary new film. We'll be playing it here on Wednesday, September 21st. And following the screening, Norman Lear has finally offered to have a live Skype interview with us, and there'll be an opportunity for audience members to be included in the questions that we ask. But that's Wednesday, September 21st. Tickets, I think, are on sale now.
I think so. I've been judging for I believe they're offering it on THT's website right now. Yeah.
In the Town Hall Theater box office.
Yeah. So we have a little bit of time. We're going to be screening with Sharon Jones here shortly, but I would suggest, though, since the bar is open, that you all come down and maybe have a beverage of some kind, and we'll screen the film shortly, and I'm sure you'll enjoy our...
About 20 minutes, we'll show the film. We want to make sure anybody that's coming just for the screening can get here.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank Middlebury. Thank Town Hall Theater. Thank Doug. Thank Jess for the tech booth.